Okay, so I'll just give you my review, what I thought on the match. To be honest, my opinions haven't changed. We got very hard done by. We played well, especially in the second half. Like, if Kane scored that penalty, would it be a different story? Yes. And we'll get on to the penalty in a second. First half, we didn't play the best. We were below average, I would say. I think we're more of just sussing out the game. If we look, like even when I was looking at Walker, he played very well, exceptionally good. Man, the match being was Saka, but Walker I think was second. Everyone in the team I think played well, but Walker, it's difficult because Mbappe in the first half, normally if Walker goes forward, Mbappe would kind of come back with him and track back. But I think Didier just said to Mbappe, you stay forward. So it was very, very hard to go down the right hand side in that game, and it was hard for Walker to create those overlaps. But Saka did very well for us. To be honest, Saka was our main outlet player. I wish that went off, but the referee was shocking. We should have had a pen the first half. Griezmann had like 4 to 5 tactical fouls before he even got booked. Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to show this, but we played, I think, really, really well. It's kind of sad that we didn't really go through it the best, but it is what it is. Let's see if we can go to like a rapid start of the game. So I'll give you just my bit of an insight. Let's go to page 6. That when the game starts. Let's have a look. What's on page 6? Kane on the spot again. Okay. But yeah, Saka was the main thing. I don't know. We should have taken Saka off. That's why I never understood. Why did we take Saka off? I was thinking maybe take Henderson off. Or even if you want to let Henderson sit, take Declan off and bring Saka on the inside. And then maybe bring on someone like Grealish or someone like Sterling or someone like that after. That was kind of my kind of opinion. But we played well. The penalty, like the first goal was good. The penalty, we should have had 2. We had a second one. It was 1-1. Then you can say everything before that. You can forget about it. It was a good penalty. I like it. The traditional way where you run up, you take it. He was a bit under pressure as well. He didn't go in a corner, but you had to respot the ball. So you can understand that. And he sent Lloris packing. Then a fantastic cross. Their goal, of course, it was from a foul. Saka got fouled definitely. So their first goal shouldn't have even counted. But then at 1-1, you can kind of just forget about everything. I think, yeah, it was a foul definitely on Saka over here. I think it's pretty obvious it's a foul. We should have had a penalty in the first half, but I think at that point, you just got to forget everything because it's 1-1. The game is still there. France didn't look that much. After we scored, Rabiot had a chance on the halfway line. Saka kept getting done, and then I think it's true. Yeah, Saka got fouled so many times. Giroud kind of had one chance, but there wasn't really much going on. And then, to be honest, it was an absolute beautiful chance. Yeah, Harry Maguire. Oh yeah, he hit the post. I forgot about that. Just shy away. See, this is what I'm gonna say. If that went in and never hit the post, then we would have been it would have been a different situation. If 71 minutes Harry Maguire scored, we would have been 2-1 ahead. So although the referee was shocking, the game was in our hands. I think at that point we were playing so well in the second half. We were creating chances. We had domination of the ball. It was in their third all the time. And their half. And then the second chance, just seconds after that, literally a couple of minutes, Luke Shaw goes down the line, does a cross, and Saka comes running, and Theo Hernandez just gets the ball in front of him, and the ball just goes shy of the left-hand side of the post. That could have been 2-1 as well. And then at this point, it's anyone's game. So although we got hard done by in the beginning, we were playing well. And then Jude Bellingham, look, I mean, I think at that point, it was a bit of a... It was a clumsy tackle, but it wasn't a penalty. No way, not that one anyway. And then Jordan Pickford came to England's rescue, just how Theo Hernandez did for France. Made a fantastic save to his right, I believe. I know it was kind of like hit from the side, headed off, second ball, I think. It was crossed in, passed back, headed back into the box, and then good height for Pickford as well. And then it wasn't too much of a difficult save, but it was good enough for him to palm the ball away. And then, to be honest, this corner here, Griezmann, what a ball it is. I mean, it got a deflection off Harry Maguire's head, unfortunately. But regardless, it was a fantastic cross. You know, that is why Griezmann plays. He's able to pick up the ball, be a playmaker, come deep. He can cross the ball, he can go wide. He can do a bit of everything, Griezmann. Tracks back, does everything. I mean, he really was a tactical fouler inside the game. Then Mason Mount, Raheem Sterling came on. See, at this point, I was thinking, okay, Henderson goes off, maybe for like Raheem Sterling. And then I would say move Saka into the middle. That's what I thought, to be honest, personally speaking. But we ended up taking Saka off, which I thought was not the best idea. Maybe he was tired, maybe because of everything that happened to him as well. Maybe just wasn't, his mindset wasn't there or something. We don't know. God knows. And then Theo Hernandez made a stupid play and he goes down. And then it's a penalty. Now, this is the thing with the penalty. In my opinion, the first penalty, it is what it is, right? But the second penalty, look, I have this belief when you're taking the pen, I forget about studying. This is just my opinion. In penalty shootouts, the first and last guy have to always be the most experienced because the first guy sets the tone. And ideally, if you had inexperienced players, you have the first guy that's good, and then the last two are the most experienced as well. So the first and the last guy are most experienced. The second last guy, the penultimate penalty, that guy's experienced as well. And then the second and the third can always be, for example, the players that are younger. Like how Rodrigo took it for Brazil. I thought it was really poor. And then, you know, Spain had their penalty. So, but anyway, I like the old school way, like the Van Persie penalty, full power, you go for a corner, you hit top bins. Now, in the first penalty, the game is still in play. I think on the second penalty, 85 minutes, I don't think you go for power. I think, you know, at that point, you see, if it's 1-1 or it's 1-0 and it's 60 minutes and you have a penalty, you should have at least 30 minutes, 35 minutes with extra time, added time to get back inside the game. But only like 7 minutes left, go for the bottom corner. I always have this thing, just go for power and go for the bottom corner. It's a third chance. You could have gone down the middle, you could have done anything. But if you're not sure, just go with power and aim for a corner. That way, if you hit and you strike the ball, ideally with the inside of your foot, but let's say you go for laces and you keep the ball driven and low. If the ball rises, let it rise naturally. And that way, at least you can say you tried to get it into the corner. But his penalty just flew over. And that was it. If he scored that, I genuinely think it would have been a different game. That's why I don't hate Southgate, because people are saying, oh, they're calling for his head. But the truth is, he did very well. If Kane scored that, and if, let's say, Maguire scored his header and then Saka scored after, it would be 3-1. But that's the butterfly effect. You can't argue it. But what you can argue is, yeah, it's... You would bet him. You would bet Kane to score. He should have just kept it low. I don't know why he went for power there. I kind of feel bad for him because he would get it then. Marcus Rashford comes on, and then Grealish comes on with like 2 minutes to go, which I thought was just too late. And then that was it. Kind of draining. I feel dejected, to be honest. I genuinely think we played well. You know, we had more possession. I would say more in the second half. The first half, they really had us. I think tactically, Southgate made a good decision at half time. He did the right changes. Because we were struggling in the first half to get down the right hand side. We were struggling. We were going down the right in some ways, but then that was it. It was very one dimensional. And the left hand side, we weren't even utilizing that. That's why I thought we needed to bring on a faster player. The referee was a joke. You can probably have a look at kind of some of my running commentary. But yeah, the referee was shocking. Honestly, that was terrible. I honestly wish no one... Griezmann doing tactical fouls. This guy was doing as Zell said, 4 or 5 tactical fouls. You know, it was ridiculous. They should have... First one, okay, warning, be in the game. Second one, you book him. They kept doing it again and again and again. But yeah, this is what I said at half time. Tacticals were difficult, although they were one-dimensional. The right was the only option. We didn't go down... We kind of went down it every single time, but we're forcing it. And then obviously they're the two players, Mbappe and Giroud, and sometimes Griezmann will go forward. So we couldn't even break out the back because we're getting pressed so much. And then of course in the second half, people started coming in, dropping in and making it a bit better. But yeah, you know, if you ask Walker to go forward, Mbappe won't track back and stay forward. We'll get countered, we'll be 2-0 down. So I think from half time, he made a good tactical decision. And then we scored the first penalty. Then the referee was still shocking. And then Bellingham played so well as well. I think, do you know what? There were so many good players, honestly. Like Bellingham, I would say Pickford played well, Walker played well, Stones, Maguire did a decent job, Shaw did well, Henderson played well, Rice, Bellingham played very well, Saka played very, very well, Kane. I think there was so many good players. It's hard to, say no one played that well. I think everyone really put in a good shift. It wasn't a full French team, but against the former French side, I think it's fine. And I know Saka maybe was tired, but we should have kept him on. And that was pretty much it. And I was like, yeah, Kane, you got this. So good at pens. I was saying, like, just keep it low. I was saying this before the pens. And then 2 minutes after he gets it so high. I mean, it is what it is. But, I don't think he deserves to get... This is what I was saying. I don't feel Southgate deserves to go. I think Euro should be in charge. He's done a very good job. We should have beaten France. I think the best team lost. Like, objectively, I'm looking at it. First half they beat us, but second half we played even better and we created a lot more chances. If you think about it, they had maybe a Giroud chance. But apart from that, the first one was a really, really nice shot from Tchouaméni, but it wasn't anything major. So it's just one of those things. It's a shame. It is what it is. But I think there's positives there. And I said, like, Walker kept Mbappe quiet. He had one chance when, I believe was when there was a situation where, I can't explain, but I think it was like, imagine this is Henderson and that's Walker, and then Mbappe was over here. And then Walker was just a bit too much on this side. And I think Henderson was in the middle, but he wasn't too sure. So he committed too much. And then Mbappe kind of did some zigzag and burned him down the wing. That's the only time Walker got beaten. I mean, that was pretty unfortunate. But yeah, I think we played well. Got a bit hard done by. It is what it is. GG's. I think if I had to root for someone now, I think I'd say Morocco. Go for the underdogs. I wanted the Argentina versus Portugal final. Portugal didn't play that well, in my opinion. I feel bad for Ronaldo. He never really had a clean-cut chance. He had one chance, though, and he didn't finish it. But I wanted a Argentina-Ronaldo final, or Messi-Ronaldo final, or Messi versus Portugal. But I think I'll go for Morocco. Only one goal conceded. It's an own goal. So I'll go for the underdogs. I don't think an African team has ever got to the semi. No, it's finals. I think no one's been to the finals, but I don't think no one's been to the semis. 100% sure. I think, was it Ghana was the last? It's quarters, right? But yeah. But anyway, neutral fan now. Let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. Gonna have a good game. I just think as long as referees are sorted, we should be fine. Anyway, that is just my thoughts on it. I thought I'd just release this. Let me know what you think down below. I tried to make it objective, but I think obviously it's hard. I've not watched the game again. I need to, but that's kind of my opinions anyway. And maybe I can look back at this in 4 years' time and be like, yeah, maybe we got something different in 2026. But it is what it is for now. Peace, guys.